Ladies and gentlemen, here's my ranking of every single MCU trilogy / quadrilogy from worst to best. Shout out to Goofer Goobington for the video. As always, let me know what y'all think and please leave a like and a follow. In last place is the Thor trilogy. If we're looking at quality, right, Thor the Dark World is one of the worst MCU films. Thor Love and Thunder, the worst MCU film. Ragnarok is the only good one from this list. And then you look at the fact that the first two films are like these Shakespearean epics, right? Very consistent in tone. Jump to Ragnarok and it's a goofy space comedy, and then Love and Thunder, I mean, I don't even know what that is. Number 6 is the Ant-Man trilogy. I love, and I will always be a defender of Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Quantumania was really bad. They took what worked in the first two films and just completely discarded it. What I mean by that is they got rid of Luis, who is easily the best character in this franchise. Number 5 is the Spider-Man trilogy. Homecoming and Far From Home are very consistent in like how it feels. No Way Home is different, but for a good reason, that it's darker and more mature. My biggest complaint with the first two movies is that they don't pressure Spider-Man as much, right? Especially Far From Home. And I think No Way Home was kind of course correction for that. If you really think about it, this trilogy is kind of a long origin story to get to Spider-Man where we want him to be. Number 4 is Iron Man. I just love the Iron Man movie. 1 is a top 5 MCU film, 3 is underrated. And through it all, it's very consistent, right? Tony's arc is of him becoming a real hero, right? And of him letting go of that guilt and trauma that he has in his past. Number 3 is Captain America. The first movie, you see Captain America in a world that he understands, right? There's a clear good guy and a clear bad guy. His moral viewpoints align with what everyone else thinks. Flash forward to the future, in the latter two movies, he navigates a world that he's no longer familiar with. What he views as right is very different from what the rest of the world sees as right. And so there's a clashing of viewpoints. Traditionally, this was the highest film on my list because Winter Soldier and Civil War are both top 5 MCU films, but this movie is trash. Number 2 is Avengers. Now, they don't really have a consistent narrative throughout the movies as opposed to just a culmination of everything else before. Nonetheless, it's peak, 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 and peak. Number 1 for me is Guardians of the Galaxy. If we're talking about consistency, they're all directed by James Gunn. They have a very similar vibe to them. At its core, this trilogy is about a group of losers and rejects who find a family together. And by the end of it, you fully believe that they are a family and they all care about each other. And the individual arcs too, specifically Rocket and Quill, where they both learn to accept their newfound family.